Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical, and today for you guys we're going to be turning the pages back. I'm going to be taking another look at this screenshot right here. Now this is a very recent new Kingdom Hearts 3 screenshot that we actually got throughout the month of February, which of course was last month at the Magic Convention. Now during this convention, Tetsuya Nomura actually made his way to it and he held a small presentation, and during the presentation itself we actually received this brand new screenshot. Now Famitsu actually ended up doing a little bit of a section towards this screenshot, actually interviewing Tetsuya Nomura on it and asking him a few questions about it. And thanks to this interview, we actually have quite a lot of interesting information. So today we're going to be going over that information in particular. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The first question Famitsu asked is, in Kingdom Hearts 3, we've seen a battle scene in Thebes in Olympus Coliseum. Is that enormous Heartless Sora is fighting a boss? Nomura said it's a rock troll Heartless, we're treating it as a mid-level boss. So first things first, apparently this fat Heartless is known as a rock troll. And I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, in terms of the name, I feel like Square could come up with something a lot more creative. Rock troll seems very bare bones, but hey, I mean, cool nonetheless. Rock troll, that's alright, I guess. Now, the other interesting thing is, Nomura is saying here that this boss is known as a mid-level boss. Now, I don't exactly know what Tetsuya Nomura means by mid-level boss, but what I think he means is, it's to the equivalent of that of the possessed door in the Beast's Castle world during your first visit in Kingdom Hearts 2. I suppose you could say that that right there is a mid-level boss, meaning that sort of halfway through that world, you'll come across the boss, but that's not really the final boss of that world. So I gather that's what this boss is right here during maybe our first or second visit. Halfway through that visit, we'll come across this dude, and, you know, we'll have to fight him, he'll be a boss, but he won't be the final boss of that world, if that makes any sense to you guys whatsoever. Actually, quite a few of the worlds in Kingdom Hearts 2 utilize the sort of mid-level boss system, where you would verse a boss halfway through that world, but it wouldn't actually be the true final boss. Another example being during your second visit of Port Royal in Kingdom Hearts 2, you actually verse a weaker version of the Grim Reaper Heartless, and then of course right at the end of the second visit, you verse a stronger version of that Grim Reaper Heartless. The next question asked was, you told us that the Keyblade would be able to transform into two patterns, forms. Is this the case for all Keyblades? Nomura said the ones we're making right now have two transformations. Still, even though this Keyblade turns into a tank and a shield, Keyblade forms won't necessarily be attack and defense. The Keyblade in the previous video turns into two bows and a bazooka. The transformations depend on the Keyblade. So first of all, let's talk about something in particular in regards to Nomura's response right here. Now he mentions that one of the Keyblades can turn into a tank and a shield. Now, I gather from that response he's talking about the Keyblade that turns into the shield, and of course that shield being the shield that Sora uses in guard form. Now what he's saying in this little response right here is he's mentioning the fact that every single Keyblade, or most Keyblades in Kingdom Hearts 3, will all contain two different transformations. So for every one Keyblade, there is two transformations that follow. So of course, for example, the Keyblade that we see in the Kingdom Hearts 3 E3 2015 trailer, that star-looking one that might be the Starseeker's cousin, can turn into two little pistol thingies as well as a bazooka. Now I'm fairly sure the Keyblade that we see in the Kingdom Hearts 3 E3 trailer, that is clearly a Keyblade from Olympus Coliseum, that we see transforming into the chariot, is the very same Keyblade that turns into the shield. Pretty much I'm saying that the Keyblade that turns into the shield, I don't believe it can also turn into a tank. I'm pretty sure this response might actually have a few different translation issues, because honestly, can you imagine a tank in Kingdom Hearts? That would be cool though. Within saying that would be fucking dope. But still though, I believe that the Keyblade that turns into the chariot is also the same Keyblade that turns into the shield, just because of the fact that the shield is also themed around the Olympus Coliseum and like Hercules and stuff. And then so is the chariot, so it kind of makes sense that the Keyblade from, you know, Olympus Coliseum turns into both the shield and the chariot. That's just kind of like my little analysis of that situation. However, the main point of this response is he's mentioning the fact that the Keyblades will all have two different transformations, so that's pretty damn cool, and the fact that the Keyblade forms won't necessarily always be focusing on attack and defense. So this kind of leads me to believe that some of the Keyblade transformations might actually focus on different roles, and by that that I mean like focusing on things like support. Perhaps maybe there's some sort of Keyblade transformation that turns into like some sort of a healing generator and will boost your health, or maybe like heal you or keep your resistances from some certain elements for a certain amount of time. Just all sorts of interesting stuff like that. It's certainly going to be very interesting to see how this whole Keyblade transformation mechanic affects the overall mechanics of the game. Because as we know, Keyblade transformations are a brand new thing to that of Kingdom Hearts 3. And I mean, at first it seemed to be that the Keyblade transformations were going to sort of be like Kingdom Hearts 3's version of a drive form, and was going to sort of replace the drive forms, but now that we actually have drive forms in KH3 as well as Keyblade transformations, it's really going to be interesting to see how that all works out. And lastly, Famitsu said, so you'll have to properly learn your way around them. And about that link in the commands, Nomura said, that. Next time we release more info, I'll explain that. So that's pretty damn exciting. In case you guys don't know, which most of you guys probably don't, the heads-up display, as you guys can see, is in Japanese, but I believe it's actually the bottom bracket on the command menu right there is actually displaying Link. Now, a lot of people have recently been questioning this and exactly what the whole Link thing might mean. Is it the new name for like drive forms? Is it a new sort of summoning mechanic or something like that? Could it be some sort of mechanic that's similar to that of delinking from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep? Who exactly knows? So Nomura is saying right here that next time they release more info, apparently he's going to be elaborating more on this whole link system that is currently shrouded in mystery. But however guys, hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. I wanted to get this news and information out to you guys because it's a lot of new stuff that wasn't really released during the time that this screenshot was released. So thank you so much to Famitsu for, of course, interviewing Tetsuya Nomura once again, as always. And thank you so much to Katie Armstrong for, of course, translating the interview. Always a big help. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this news and information. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.